Now, if you follow gold, you know that it's been flirting with a $1,300 level. Whether it's going to hold or not is a whole different matter. But you must be looking at different stages of companies. And if you're looking at exploration companies, if you have an appetite for risk, then you should definitely take a look at this one. Hi, this is Fabi with Equity.Guru, and today we're going to talk about a company that has been completely killed in the market stock price wise. It has been obliterated. I'm going to go into why, but I don't really see much of a downside from here. They have some really interesting backers. Now, you have to have an appetite for risk. You have to understand certain jurisdictions in order to make this bet. But it's something to look out for because the people who are actually behind this deal kind of make you go, what if there's something there that I haven't considered yet? Let's take a look.
This company is Nexus Gold Corp. Now, the first thing I have to tell you about Nexus Gold Corp with a huge disclaimer is that to many people, they'll think about the stock price, which has been absolutely killed from a high of 345 Canadian dollars down to now 11 cents. Now, when you look at a chart like this, you have to investigate as to what caused it. And my good friends here at Equity.Guru have unveiled a big problem. Former CEO Peter Burdusco pretty much obliterated the company by selling extremely cheap stocks at a time when the company was already down. Not only that, but he failed to file that correctly, and people didn't know about it until up to 2 years later. Needless to say, anytime this name comes up related to any company, I'm staying out. Now, the other side of the coin is when you look at such a harsh drop over so long, you can see that this last little while of 2019 especially, the stock has pretty much stopped falling because the people who have suffered this very long, very sharp drop, they're not sellers. The sellers all gave up during this time here. The people who are holding it are thinking, you know what, I've held it for so long, I might as well see what the stock does in the next couple of years for the upside. At least that's my impression. So Nexus Gold Corp has a few different projects in Burkina Faso and also now in North America. More on that later. Now, Burkina Faso has a fairly recent mining code. I believe they've only started industrial grade mining in the decade of the 2000s, and it's always been considered a very safe jurisdiction for doing so. It helps that there are already other miners in the area. The issue is that the country is suffering from a lot of violence, a lot of jihadi related violence, and this is something I dug up just a few days ago. So, not good news. There are extremists moving into Burkina Faso as we speak, and most of the area that's under attack is the border with Mali, which is notoriously a dangerous place. And what may concern some people is that Burkina Faso used to be that stable region. It says here Burkina Faso, which had previously been known for its stability in a troubled region, like I just pointed out, has suffered 499 deaths from attacks on civilians between November 2018, so just a few months ago, and March 23rd, a more than 7,000% jump from the same period a year earlier. So very concerning, and most people will stay out. Well, here's the thing with Burkina Faso. Dangerous or not, we don't really know what the situation is regarding whether the violence is going to die down in the next 6 to 12 months. But one thing that we do know is that there is a heck of a lot of gold in a fairly small country. These projects are controlled by Nexus Gold, Bublo and Rakonga, as well as Nyangela and Dakuli. And I'm sorry for butchering those names, but that's the best I can do. Now, Endeavour owns a 3.4 million ounce gold mine right here. Norgold owns Bisa, that's a 3.4 million ounce as well right here. Moving further away, you have 5.7 million ounces with Semifo. B2 Gold on the other side here has 5.9 million ounces at Kiaka. So whether the region is in turmoil or not, the fact is if the gold is there, the gold is there. and that's got to be worth something. In fact, they've just put out in January some news about the Dakoli 2 project, which is not really their main project. Now, these are samples, so very early stage, but extremely high grade at 29.5, 27.5, and 12.4. Now, the main focus in Burkina Faso is the Bobolo Gold concession. You can see this area here, sort of towards the middle to the west of the country. The main conflict is happening up here, but things are changing fast, so it helps to keep updated with the news. Now, this area has seen some drilling, but probably only about half of what they will do before they put out an estimate, a resource estimate. So you have good intersections here of 1.54 grams per ton over 40 meters, which includes 20 meters at 2.25 grams. This is good grade, it's decent grade. And if you can mine it in a cheaper jurisdiction, I know that they didn't pay very much for these projects in the first place, it's a good hit. Also 2.2 grams per ton over 35 meters, which includes 5.45 grams per ton over 12 meters. Also a very decent hit. Now, the current thesis is that these two areas could connect. So we need to go back there and drill to see how much more gold we can find, and from that do a resource estimate. Now, Nyangwela and Dakoli are much more early stage, especially now that they have to compete with their new Canadian projects, which are Mackenzie and Red Lake, Ontario, and the new pilot project, which is in BC. Now, this really caught my attention in May of 2018. Nexus Gold raised $3 million in a private placement that was subscribed by none other than Sandstorm Gold. Now they own approximately 17.3%. Well, they did then. There is a private placement that has been done since for, I believe, just over $1 million. But Sandstorm is not really in the business of throwing money around for no reason. I believe they understand the region, or they want to understand the region better. And it kind of helps that Warren Robb, who is the head geo for Nexus Gold, is extremely experienced in the region. In fact, he used to be the chief geologist for Rocks Gold. And if you know anything about West Africa, you'll know that Rocks Gold is very relevant in that area. Another fact that kind of makes you go, is the appointment of Ian Stalker as a non-executive chairman. Now, Ian Stalker has built and sold companies, is extremely experienced. He has been around the block several times and is what I would consider a name that carries weight. Now, after having cleaned up management, here are some things that I would like to see from Nexus Gold and some catalysts that you should definitely watch out for. First of all, I think there's a huge area for improvement when it comes to G&A. Secondly, we would like to know what the plan is regarding the North American properties. Are they going to be the new focus for now? Are we going to remain in Burkina Faso and push forward with a resource estimate, knowing that the current shareholders are probably extremely loyal to the company? I see about 3 things that could really push the share price higher. One of them is just a general gold bull market in the equities. When that happens, a lot of the companies that are in the media, that are getting exposure, that do actually invest in promotion, they get a premium because more and more people are seeing the opportunity. The other thing is that there are some Burkina Faso companies, in fact, all of them have become cheaper and cheaper. The second possible scenario, which is independent of gold going up or down very much, is if we start seeing takeovers in Burkina Faso. I think that that is more likely than not to happen in the next couple of years. And if other exploration companies are being taken out, you could see the whole area get a premium. And last but definitely not least, we could get really nice interceptions from any of the projects that Nexus currently has on hand. The gold is there, we just don't really know how much at this point. So those are the things to look out for. I expect a drill season here in 2019 and hopefully good news to follow. And this is Nexus Gold Corp.